It is 12 noon. Welcome back into Three-Man Front on this gorgeous Tuesday. It's a very special day. It's Peyton Manning's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it's also Don Don's birthday, and we do not have an open seat up here. Fat Joe just showed up, and he's looking around like, where am I going to sit?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's problems.
Fat Joe's going to be that guy.
Where's FSU Dave? He's not here yet.
Supposedly there's a big crowd of people that are supposed to be coming after lunch, is what I've been told.
Yes.
We might have to get 1 o'clock is.
Yeah, but we've already told them that they're going to have to go downstairs, that we have a show to do.
Yes.
Because it's bad enough sometimes dealing with some of these folks. Not the majority of them, but I think people listening.
Well aware.
Yeah. They understand some of the issues that we've had.
Dang Peyton Manning.
Yeah. If you missed any of our interviews this morning, we had Mike Griffith from the AJCDogNation.com. Interesting comments about Kirby Smart and spring ball for Georgia. Also, Tom Hart, voice of the SEC Network, also on ESPN. He joined us, talk a little Sweet 16, his thoughts on the 4 SEC teams that have now punched their ticket to the Sweet 16. Coming up in about 15 minutes from now, good friend Tye Richardson from ESPN Radio in Arkansas. He literally came home from Portland, Oregon, I think for literally 24, 36 hours, and now he's getting back ready to head back out west to watch Arkansas again as they get ready for their Sweet 16.
Hey, he's young, he's single. Live the dream. Go and play some golf.
Yeah, he's got golf clubs, and he's single, so you know what? It's a perfect situation.
Maybe he can find him a woman out there.
Think so?
I don't know. He's a career guy. He's just focused on the career.
He is.
We'll ask him. I will ask him when he gets on the air.
Okay.
If he has any love interest.
Yeah, put him in an awkward position because we didn't do that at all in Atlanta with him.
No. I was thinking out in Portland he found one of those granola girls.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
We'll ask him.
You know what I'm talking about.
Never know who he runs into on the road. Yeah.
Save water. Shower less.
There you go. One thing is for sure, you're talking about water, Landrum, a lot of rain is expected here in the next couple weeks, and that means it's spring season, and we've already had some bad storms, bad hail damage in my neck of the woods just a couple weeks ago, and that's where Abide Roofing comes in at 205-577-7338. So if you're a homeowner or a business owner and you need someone to get on top of your business or your home roof and give you an assessment of what's going on, well, Abide Roofing is ready to help you today. They offer free, no obligation roof inspections. So even if you don't see those missing shingles, the hidden damage can turn into a huge problem down the road, could leaking into your attic, which then can get into your house onto your sheetrock. So let Abide Roofing and Travis Lloyd and his outstanding roofing team, the local roofing team, ready to help you. They have a reputation in the Birmingham area as one of the most reliable roofing companies and contractors you're going to find, delivering industry-leading quality-backed goods. The 5-star Google ratings are off the page when you want to go check them out. 24-hour support and fast emergency service. So when storms hit, help is just a phone call away, and that's Abide Roofing. Number again, 205-577-7338. That's 205-577-7338. They're also the insurance claim masters. They were able to get me a new roof on my damaged roof because of hail damage. They can do the same for you. Call them 205-577-7338.
Saw where the player of the year, Darius Akov of Arkansas, speaking of Tye, got that record deal with Reebok, which is historic, which should come as no surprise to anybody who's seen Darius Akov play. He's special. He's just a special, special talent.
And you know,
you
every
admire
time
it when you see it because you know it doesn't come around every day.
And every time I've seen an interview with him, I've been impressed. You know,
yeah.
Seems like a really, really sharp young man. He's got great basketball ability, but then when you see the interviews and he seems humble and he seems like he's got his head screwed on straight, you applaud that.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I knew that Reebok was still producing shoes. I see their shoes. I just did not know that they were still in the basketball game and paying guys a lot of money to wear their shoes.
Very much so. We told everyone that Alabama back on the practice field this morning. Likewise, the Auburn Tigers will be on the practice field this afternoon. Auburn will have Pro Day coming up a little bit later, and so you'll get some sound bites and you'll get some quotes from some coaches coming up a little bit later today. I was perusing social media, and I'll be the first person to admit it. especially after the transfer portal, it's going to take a little while for me to kind of get locked in on where certain guys have gone, especially in football, because we did that transition from the college football playoff right to college basketball. But I saw a video of Isaiah Horton, and I completely forgot where Isaiah Horton went in the SEC.
Oh, that's right. He went in the SEC, didn't he?
Yes.
Hang on.
I hate to put you on the spot. I did not know until I saw the video. I'm just being upfront. I completely forgot.
Did he go to Texas A&M?
He did go to Texas A&M. That's a good get by you, because I completely forgot that he was at A&M.
And I did too, because Alabama, how many players? They had an offensive lineman went to Texas A&M from this past year, and Isaiah Horton. That would have been the two players, right?
Yes.
And the offensive lineman that reportedly got over $1 million to go.
Yep.
But yeah, it's hard. Well, think about it. We get our roster set in our mind, personnel-wise, SEC Media Days, so late July. And then August gets here, and then football season, we're off and running. And then come beginning of January, just erase everything that you just compiled and you memorized and you just got down, because it's all going to change again.
Well, the good news is now that you can start looking at potential depth charts coming out of spring.
Yes.
And you feel pretty good that at least by SEC Media Days, we're already locked in.
And football publications, the Phil Stills, the Athlons of the world, they appreciate it.
Those are the guys that are the most appreciative
Yeah.
of the fact that now they can go to press and they feel pretty good about their roster, whereas last year it was complete chaos. So with only one portal window, then that helps things out tremendously. So we told you last hour about a couple rule changes that are going to go into effect for 2026. We told you that the Football Bowl Subdivision Committee last week approved the one-year trial rule to modify the penalty structure when players are penalized for targeting. So if you get a targeting, it's your first offense for the season, you will not have to sit out at all the next game, at all. So you're ejected during the game that you were penalized, and then there's nothing else after that. We told you about the fair catch kick that happens now in college football. If you want to do that, it's very similar to what happens in high school and obviously at the professional level. We also told you that the proposal that would have required players to wear leg coverings from top of their shoes to the bottom of their pants was not approved. So you can continue to see the Daisy Duke shorts worn by the Oklahoma field goal kicker.
That's why you go on Saturdays. You want to see some thigh, right? No.
So,
I want to get, not that it's a huge deal, but when that was talked about, what was the biggest from the other side, the opposing? Let's not do this.
Who was the proponent of saying,
right.
hey, look, this is why we should allow this.
Right.
Like, that's the debate that I would have loved to hear.
And I'm hoping that it just came back to enforcement. We need to circle back to this. Who's going to be monitoring this? Are we going to have an official that's because if I'm an official and with rule changes and everything else that I have been assigned to cover on my place on the field, I got enough to worry about. I can't be looking a minute, 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter, pivotal point of a game. And what would the penalty be?
Yeah.
Are you gonna throw a flag in a crucial situation because little kicker didn't pull his pants down? That didn't sound good.
No, it's all sorts of things I could have gone down.
I know, and I appreciate you not doing it.
Yeah.
Family show.
Yeah, it is. But there was one other thing that happened last Thursday that was very interesting to me. And this could have a wide-ranging effect, and it could affect the college football playoff. And this is what it is. So the Football Oversight Committee recommended eliminating the 2-year transition penalty that prohibits programs from participating in bowl games that move from FCS to FBS. To me, this is huge for North Dakota State and also Sacramento State. Those are the two of the latest schools that make the move to the FBS. So last week's proposal by the NCAA's Football Oversight Committee still must survive the May NCAA meeting and can still be officially I guess, voted down, or it could be approved. So if successful, North Dakota State and Sacramento State won't have to suffer the 2-year limbo that were previously assessed to teams making the move from FCS to FBS. So if you take a look at the Vegas lines, North Dakota State is projected to be favored in all 12 games in 2026. Their non-conference games are Jacksonville State, Fordham, Sacramento State, and San Jose State. And they also play an 8-game Mountain West schedule. For those that may not remember this, the Bison have won 10 of the last 15 FCS championships. So based on this new rule change, North Dakota State would be bowl eligible. And on top of that, they could be eligible for the college football playoff.
Well, they should be. The amount of money that these programs are paying to play at the FBS level, to be admitted, to be accepted, to go out and to compete, why make them wait an extra 2 years? We know how tough it is revenue-wise, but if they want, we have so many bowl games. Anyways, how many bad bowl games or bad bowl matchups have we seen in our lifetimes? A million. So give me some North Dakota State, some new flavors. Sacramento State, if you're bowl eligible. Why hold those guys back? What are we doing? No, I think it's a good rule. I'm glad they changed it.
And I love the fact that we could have a conversation on Tuesday nights with Reese Davis talking about North Dakota State and where they are.
Well, the James Madison has been the best example of this is what happens. We just showed you what we did, and then just a few years later, you're in the college football playoff. Not to mention, you also produced a coach that just won a national championship at historically one of the worst college football programs at the Power 4 level in our history, in Kurt Signetti.
So I'm hoping that this will be approved, and that way that Sacramento State and at least North Dakota State, but the Bison would have a clear and good path, to find themselves potentially in the college football playoff discussion. Coming up next on Three Man Front, we will go to Arkansas, and we'll check in with Tye Richardson from ESPN Radio in Arkansas as the Hogs get ready to head west again in the Sweet 16. That's next on Three Man Front.
12:17, welcome back in. Three-man front live from the Taco Terrace festive day. We've got Don, the mayor of the Social Taco Club. He has turned a certain age. I think I heard 65 years young today for Don, but there is a bevy of people that are up here in the Taco Terrace for Social Taco right next to City Hall if you've never joined us. But festive event, and even if you don't know Don or our group, come say hello and enjoy not only some great food like we have at our table and so many others around us, but the half-off happy hour, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, now that the nice weather is here, hopefully, for a long time.
Joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, it's becoming a tradition now on Tuesdays. We catch up with Tye Richardson from ESPN Radio Arkansas as he is getting, I think Molly said he's getting ready to get on his private jet to fly back out west.
That's the way I understood it.
Yes. Tye, do I understand that correctly? You're on your way to the airport now to your private hangar?
Maybe at some point, boys. Man, honestly, y'all are doing a disservice to your listeners having me on twice in a week. I'll have to talk to programmers about that, Pat. I know you're in that department. But no, we're going to get on the airplane here at Exeter here shortly and hope Arkansas pulls off the miracle in 2 days.
All right, based on where you were emotionally, hope-wise, when we talked to you at this time last week, Tye, you've digested 2 games. Arkansas, very impressive. Have you maybe increased your optimism about the Hogs and their chances for the rest of the tournament?
I think so. I mean, Darius is just a dog. And, I mean, that game in Tuscaloosa we were talking about last week was one of the more special performances from a collegiate athlete I think I've ever seen. And he backed it up in the postseason, too. Guys, he's averaged pretty much 30 points, around 6 or 7 assists since the SEC tournament. He got 5 straight wins in postseason. I think they've reeled off 7 when you include Texas and Missouri. So this is, it's going to sit around him. And, they got to hit some threes. Arizona is third to last in three-point attempts in college basketball. If Arkansas is knocking down the long ball, then they have a chance in this game Thursday night in the Sapp Center.
All right, your thoughts on the play. I mean, obviously, watching the games, it's what we've seen from Arkansas, in our opinion, for most of the season. But out Portland, was there a growing confidence around this basketball team in regards to the Sweet 16, or are they just taking care of business one game at a time?
You know, they were the hunted out there, Pat, and they played good against Hawaii, and they were a little skittish at times against High Point. They're still not a great defensive team, but you still kind of had an expectation this was the second weekend squad, and they fulfilled that. I feel like anything past this point is gravy, especially if you beat the number 1 seed. I think the last time you played these guys in the postseason was '94 en route to Arkansas's first and only national championship in basketball, so there's some history here. And guys, Arizona hasn't been to an Elite Eight since 2015 and been to the Final Four since 2001. There's more pressure on the Wildcats Thursday night than there is the Razorbacks, and hopefully Darius, Malik, and the rest of the guys will just play free and easy.
Tye, if you take a couple of the few losses that Arizona had this season, Kansas and Texas Tech, both very close games, but as you examine Arkansas, what they do well, the strengths of Arizona, what's the key to success? How does Arkansas do the unthinkable and knock off the top-seeded Cats?
Well, if they get some easy buckets in transition, that would be huge. The Razorbacks are really good at not turning the ball over, number 1 in all of college basketball in turnover percentage on their end. And then on defense, they do force some turnovers. And, guys, Arizona is top 5 in efficiency in both offensive and defense, and they're number 1 in college basketball in defensive field goal efficiency. Really tough to score on the half court. So in order to mitigate that, you've got to get some transition easy buckets. And Darius and Malik and DJ and Billy Richmond and these guys have got to get out and run because it's going to be really hard to score on the 7th tallest basketball team in all of the country when you get in that just easy half-court play. If it's a half-court game, it favors Arizona. If it's run and gun, it favors the Razorbacks.
Let's talk about John Calipari for a minute because, first off, we said from day one we thought it was an outstanding job, for him, to go from, one of the so-called blue bloods to Kentucky to based on the Arkansas fan base and the support that he has, especially now in the NIL era. Now that he's been at Arkansas for a couple years, How has he fit in? I mean, does it seem like an old glove now that Cal's been there for longer than just a few years? And what does the fan base say about this team and the trajectory that Cal has put it on?
Oh, the fan base likes him a lot. I mean, when you get to a second straight Sweet 16, you got at least the top 3 or 4 player in college basketball. You got a top 2 recruiting class coming in, and they're going to like you. It's funny, like, you have all this animosity towards no one for a decade plus. I mean, even in Memphis, Arkansas didn't like him. And then all of a sudden he's your head coach, and it's a complete flip of gears. So that was a transition at first. When they beat Kentucky and Lexington last season, people were like, okay, he is one of us. And then they went on that run to ultimately losing to Tech last year, and now they're here again this year. They realized they're a Hall of Fame coach. You've had Coach Sutton, Coach Richardson, and now Coach Cal in the position. And hopefully this trend and this ride continues for the Razorbacks through this weekend.
If it's not Arkansas, which team from the SEC are you hitching your wagon to?
Guys, I think Tennessee. And the reason I say that is because I think they have the size to beat Michigan in the Elite Eight. And Iowa State, while they're really good this year, is notorious for choking at this juncture of the NCAA tournament. Texas's run has been incredible. Give credit to Sean Miller. I could even see them getting past Purdue. But the winner of Arkansas and Arizona is going to the Final Four. Doesn't matter if the Boilermakers or the Longhorns are meeting them in the Elite Eight. So that's why I would favor Tennessee. It's kind of odd to see all 4 teams on one side of the bracket. Being the max would be just 2 teams in the Final Four. But, guys, I don't even know if we'll see one SEC team make it, being the matchups that they have in front of them.
All right, before we let you go, before you get on your private jet and fly west again, I wanted to ask you about Arkansas football. Ryan Silverfield taking over. How's the fan base taking to him? What can you tell us so far what's going on with spring football?
Man, Pat, it is so under the radar. You got a top 5 baseball team. You've got a basketball team that's in the midst of making a run at this Final Four. And it's just like they've had spring stuff and obviously spring break going on this week. Quarterback battle is going to be a big theme. They're going to do it all the way through fall camp, it sounds like. But it's wild because I read stuff about Alabama and Kalen DeBoer and Alex Golish and Auburn, and it is so much higher level of intensity and interest, even though Alabama's in the midst of their Sweet 16 run. And Auburn obviously didn't have the season they wanted to in basketball. It's just not the same level of interest with the 2 other sports having a lot of success right now.
Did you find a love interest there in Portland, or do we need to continue to look for you out in San Jose?
I think there's better odds in San Jose, but I'm going to be honest, guys. I would rather find one in Indianapolis, Indiana next weekend, depending on how this weekend goes.
Hey, what was the course you played up in Portland?
Portland Golf Club, and I need to send y'all pictures because it was about as green a course as I've seen. I'm going to try and play San Jose Country Club or it's either the Olympus or Olympiad in San Francisco if I can pull a string or 2. We've got the golf clubs in the front, guys. Don't worry.
All right, I need you to go to this Winchester Mystery House.
Okay.
Victorian mansion
what
crafted by Sarah Winchester over a span of 36 years. It's an architectural marvel, and it stands to a testament to intrigue and mystery with its one-of-a-kind design features and history. We know that you're into what was the house that he went to here?
I forgot.
The House of Inanimate Objects or something. Weird objects.
Landrum, that Winchester house is actually one of the most haunted houses in America.
That's why I want him there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I want him there.
There's a chance I don't come back. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. The scariest movie I've seen snakes on a plane, so I don't know if I could handle that haunted house, Landrum.
Okay. Well, I try to throw out things for you to do in your downtime so you don't go to jail, and that was one of them. That looked like it was kind of healthy.
Oh boy.
We'll see.
All right. Well, hopefully it's an extended weekend, and then we'll be talking to you again next Tuesday as you get on your private jet going to the Elite Eight. Or actually, it'll be at that point in time, it'll be Final Four.
What are you hearing on Darius Acuff? How much is that deal with Reebok?
Oh, yeah, I saw Shan's report this morning. I think when Allen Iverson signed his, and this was obviously in the NBA, it was like $60 million or something. I don't know what it is. So I mean that's obviously for AI. That is a good. I mean AI's been on this kid since high school, if not before. So the relationship's been there. I'd be just throwing out a number, honestly, guys, with no solid footing when it comes to what that deal is actually worth.
Get me and Pat a pair of pumps. That's all we ask.
Okay. No Conrad? Are we not giving Conrad a pair of shoes?
You've seen the shoes.
No, you've seen the his choices he makes.
He doesn't like laces.
Yeah, he's more of a Croc guy.
Soles are optional sometimes for him.
He loves the Crocs.
He likes Crocs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, if you can get him a good pair of Alabama Crocs there in San Jose, he'd appreciate that.
Or a good pair of tearaway pants.
Okay. I think we can make that happen.
Okay, well, I can hear the private jet firing up, so we'll let you go.
Good luck going through TSA.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, boys. Later, guys.
See you.
All right. Tye Richardson.
Something tells me his airport's a little more low-key.
Yeah.
Where he's going.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Or the pilot's there, just there to shake your hand as you get on the plane.
Here we go.
Gonna narrate this?
Oh, listen to that. That's
Mr. Saxophone, who he plays national anthems.
How about that?
Prior to Alabama games, different events there at the Capstone. He is.
Oh, wow. Listen to that.
Doing his
That's
best.
Very nice.
Kenny G there on the saxophone.
That sounded really nice.
Oh,
that was very smooth.
Oh, he's outstanding.
Yeah. He's very good. Is he going to take requests here in the next half hour?
Like Blues Brothers. What would be a good song that he could do on the sax?
Kenny G? Maybe some Kenny G?
Kenny G.
Yeah.
That's the old favorite, right?
Yeah.
Metallica.
Hey, you know some Metallica? You got some Metallica?
He doesn't.
AC/DC?
AC/DC, yeah.
Let me hear a couple of AC/DC real quick before we go to break. Let's go. Anything.
Kevin, just start playing something.
Just start playing. Here we go.
All right, here he goes.
Yeah, live radio.
Yeah.
He's playing the
Florida, very nice.
The
Florida fight song.
Oh, look at FSU Dave. You ticked him off. He's mad now.
Yeah.
Oh, he just did that. Hey, how about that? That's good stuff.
Kevin, thank you so much. Kevin joining us is a lot of our great Social Taco Jocks listeners here for Don Don's birthday. We have the First Lady of the Social Taco Club, BB.
Oh, she's cutting the cake now?
I'll be honest, we had Tye on. I saw her putting on those gloves. And I went, oh, gosh, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? Turns out she's just wearing them to cut the cake.
Yeah, she's being very health conscious.
But was that fair? That was fair, though, just for a second. Did I miss the memo? Is BB performing?
Oh, look, Howie and Fat Joe are
examinations
are like having words with Don Don.
Good. I hope we get punches. I'm ready for somebody to just hit somebody. I'm not, but the 3-year-old nanny boo boo back and forth, just hit him.
Oh,
There's
man.
something else. I love them. Most days.
Oh, yeah. All right, we will continue on. Dimitri Ravenos will join the program from North Carolina coming up at 1 o'clock. This is 3-Man Front live on Jocks. See, this is what I wanted to hear on the saxophone. Why can we not get this on the saxophone? I don't understand. That would have been awesome if we had heard that on the sax.
Blow that horn.
Welcome back in. Three-man front. We are live at Social Taco. The birthday festivities continue here. Thank you, Mary, very much. Mary brought me a small sliver of cake.
Supposedly the birthday festivities are going to continue after we leave here today.
That's what I understand. I have a previous engagement. I have to get back to
Yep, I got a client meeting.
My lovely town pretty quickly after the show, so I will not be able to partake. I understand that Conrad is going to join them at the festivities.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, so a lot of folks will be glad to see Conrad showing up. He had to go home and take a nap because he actually worked hard the last couple of days.
He's going to wear something nice, go up there and
go up there and hit the golf ball.
Let her rip.
Bit. Yeah, that'll be fun.
It will be fun. We got tournament action. We actually have NIT games tonight. Auburn in action tomorrow at Neville. Then Thursday, Friday, we kick back up the NCAA tournament. Alabama playing Michigan on Friday at the United Center. But the place you need to go is the Finnick, and I told you about it last week. But the Finnick for all of your tournament action, whatever the sport, but this being college basketball, you can find it there on the giant projector screens, the video boards, all of the wall-to-wall TVs that they have inside the Finnick. And don't forget about the drink specials they run. If you're an Alabama fan, you want to watch them beat Michigan, you can do it surrounded by your closest Alabama friends there at the Finnick. But the Finnick, it's all weekend long, and all the tournament action, you're going to be able to find it there. And the food is incredible. Got some new menu items to share and drink specials as well. 1630 2nd Avenue South. Get into the Finnick and always tell them Landrum from Jock sent you.
All right, so a couple of eligibility updates. Not sure if many of our listeners saw this. This happened yesterday. But Oklahoma linebacker Owen Heineke, he has filed a lawsuit against the NCAA as he continues to seek another year of college eligibility while he's also preparing for the NFL draft. The lawsuit was filed late on yesterday in an Oklahoma State court. It seeks an injunction against the NCAA. A hearing is currently scheduled for April 16th. The NFL draft begins on April 23rd. Heineke had 74 tackles. He earned second-team All-SEC honors this last season. He was denied an additional year by the NCAA, and his appeal was also denied in February. It's interesting, Landrum, because he participated in the Senior Bowl and also the NFL Combine. But now he's going to court trying to get an additional year of eligibility. So you ask the question, why? His situation is unique because he lost a year of eligibility because he played in 3 games as an Ohio State Buckeye lacrosse walk-on back in 2021. He then transferred to Oklahoma, joined the football program in 2022, didn't play that season due to a knee injury, then played in 13 games in each of the next 3 years as an Oklahoma Sooner. Those 3 lacrosse games that he played in Columbus totaled 15 minutes of playing time, but it started his 5-year eligibility clock. He needed an NCAA waiver for a 6th year.
And he should absolutely get it. This is the common sense type stuff. And if they don't approve it, it just goes back to what are we doing with the NCAA again?
Common sense policies.
Common sense.
He played 3 games that totaled 15 total minutes as a lacrosse walk-on at Ohio State, but the NCAA started his clock. And so all of his career of playing football, that eligibility, according to the NCAA, ran out. So he is appealing once again now in a court in the state of Oklahoma to try to get an injunction to see if he can play another year.
And hopefully they will. And I realize a lot of things come across their desk, and maybe this was just oversight. But come on.
Here's another player that is seeking another year of eligibility. This time it's former Virginia quarterback Chandler Morris. Last month, he joined a growing list of athletes that is suing the NCAA for another year of eligibility. Morris is seeking a 7th season in 2026 after his waiver and appeal were denied. His case stands out, though, because he is citing mental health struggles stemming from a 2022 knee injury at TCU that cost him his starting job, as grounds for the extra year. Morris described it as a battle each day and every day with anxiety and depression. So he's not asking for the extra year because he was hurt back in 2022 because of the knee injury. He's asking because what took place with his mental health after that injury that took place in 2022. Now, moments ago, this is why this is relevant. Moments ago, in an NCAA filing in the Chandler Morris eligibility case, guess who just gave an affidavit in support of the NCAA and against a member institution from the Atlantic Coast Conference? That being Jim Phillips, the commissioner of the ACC. So he's going down the same road that Greg Sankey did by going against a member institution. He has filed an affidavit in full support of the NCAA and the eligibility rules and not allowing Chandler Morris an additional year.
Yeah, Heineke's one thing. This whole thing with the distress and got to be careful here. I don't know what kind of struggles that he dealt with emotionally, psychologically. But that was a year, and it's happened to a lot of different players over the course of college football history. You get hurt. It's unfortunate. It's a game. People get injured. Then you had a quarterback that took over. And probably didn't help the fact that that quarterback took over and led your team to a national title game appearance in 2022, where they got the brakes beat off of them, 65-7. I was thinking that was maybe the emotional anguish that he was remembering, and that was what he was citing.
Man,
in that.
You're brutal. You're so mean.
Do you not agree, though?
Yes.
Without knowing
Yes,
anything
I do.
else,
I do.
Like if he was severe, if he was diagnosed with being a manic depressant, or he was suicidal, or he really had some issues, but this seems like this is a reach. Which, at this point, why not? Throw it out there.
So basically, Jim Phillips, not quite exactly like what Greg Sankey did in the Charles Bediako case, but he is basically standing firm behind the NCAA's policies on eligibility. And so the ACC office is not in support of Chandler Morris looking for an additional year.
But with the Heineke kid, I can't see Greg Sankey putting his name according to – I think we ask Greg Sankey right now, he believes that Heineke should be able to play an extra year.
Well, that's the problem. Once these commissioners start filing affidavits, then you need to file affidavits against everybody. If you're going to do it for one, you need to do it for all. Because then you're opening up Pandora's box where you're going to have to answer on every single case, every type of situation. I still want people in Destin, Florida, to ask Greg Sankey the question, why did you feel so obligated to go against a member institution, which has never been done publicly before or legally? And you're the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, and you get paid 1/16 of your salary thanks to the University of Alabama. I just think it's a bad look.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want to behind the scenes. You can rant and rave and scream and threaten or do whatever. But when you put your name on that document, I think that's a bad look for your conference as a whole. It's making you seem like you, the individual, is bigger than the conference.
That, or that you don't have control, or not everybody's in communication or lockstep in your conference when you're coming out and doing that. You're right. Could not have just been a conversation, and maybe that happened, but that's a conversation with Greg Byrne, right? You call Greg Byrne if you're Greg Sankey, and you say, look, I'm just go ahead and tell you, whatever transpired. But no, I would like to see the view on this. I want you to come out and chastise the NCAA if they don't approve this Heineke kid. I'm not talking about Chandler Morris, but the Heineke kid for getting dinged because he played 15 minutes of another sport early in his collegiate career. No. But you're right. Put pressure on it. With his name, that carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So when they're reviewing this, put in there that you believe that this Heineke kid should be granted an extra year of eligibility.
You know what I love about everything that's taken place so far is how Todd Golden ran his mouth about Alabama and Charles Bediako. And meanwhile, Alabama without Charles Bediako is playing in the Sweet 16, and Florida's not.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that funny?
It's a lot of shut up juice there.
Yeah, it's funny how all that works out. We will continue on. We are live at Social Taco. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll have a conversation with our good friend from the state of North Carolina, Dimitri Ravenos. That's all straight ahead here on Jocks. It is 12:50. We're live at Social Taco. We'll be here until 2 o'clock, as we are each and every Tuesday. Last week was a busy week on the road, so we appreciate everybody coming by and enjoying Peyton Manning's birthday with us, and also Don Don's birthday here at Social Taco.
Well, if you can't make it to Social Taco in Homewood, another great place that we love is Big Whiskey's. They are the place to catch all the tournament action. They offer plenty of food with plenty of big screens. They also have a full menu with something to please everyone, and the most extensive bar in town. The outdoor patio and game area is great for families, so go see them. They're in the Stadium Trace Village in Hoover, but they're also off of Highway 280 in Tattersall Park as well.
I was just talking about this Chandler Morris case in which the commissioner of the ACC, Jim Phillips, just like Greg Sankey did in the Charles Bediaco case, he has signed an affidavit which in full support of the NCAA in denying Chandler Morris an additional year of eligibility. April 2nd, that will be the court date for Chandler Morris, as he will be in the courtroom trying to fight for an extra year of eligibility. He is citing mental health struggles stemming from a 2022 knee injury at TCU that cost him his starting job. So that is the basis of his case.
If I remember Chandler Morris, I know his dad's Chad Morris. So did he start his career at Arkansas? Was it North Texas? He's been in a bunch of different places. I will look.
Yeah, I remember him at North Texas. Was he at Oklahoma for a year?
Golly.
For some reason, Oklahoma. Maybe he came to Oklahoma out of the gate. Maybe. Could be wrong on that. That's just off the top of my head.
If I put the over-under at Chandler Morris has attended 4 schools, would you go under or?
I would say over.
Over.
Was I right?
I think we're at 4. You were right about Oklahoma.
Was that his first one?
It's opening up, yeah.
Okay.
But
all right.
Oklahoma, North Texas, TCU,
and Virginia. Okay. Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, I think his dad was at Oklahoma, maybe, when he got that job. When he came out of high school. You know, for a short time, it looked like he was heading to Arkansas, but of course that's when Morris was the head coach at Arkansas. And that didn't last long.
You remember when Chad Morris was the offense coordinator at Auburn for like a second?
Yeah. Who was the offensive coordinator longer? Was it Morris at Auburn or Tony Franklin?
So Chandler Morris, it is not Chad's son. It is his son, right?
I thought it was.
Yeah. Chad Morris is his dad. He's been around for 7 years. I should know this by now. But mental anguish. So that should be a whole lot of fun if that gets to a courtroom, having to explain all the things that cause you mental anguish and what led into that. The text line is open, 205-834-9450. We take you there now, and in response to Greg Sankey not putting his name on an affidavit or putting his name on every single affidavit when there's an eligibility issue with a player from his conference, this one reads, Sankey should do something about Chambliss. NCAA ruled him ineligible. They haven't gone back, though, the NCAA attorneys, to have to go appear in the courtroom yet for leaving early.
I don't think so, but that's a great question. Why? I mean, the NCAA, was it 3 or 4 times that they have ruled Trinidad Chambliss ineligible? So I'm just curious why Greg Sankey did not file an affidavit against Ole Miss.
Is it? I don't know. I mean, we know the differences in the 2 cases, but it's a fair question.
As I stated before, if you're going to do it for one, then you need to be consistent. I know every case is different, but if you're going to go on a limb like that and you're going to go after a member institution, then you're going to have to answer the questions. Why did you not go after, member institution B, C, D, and F, but you went after A and E? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just be consistent.
This one rolls in. This is Mark. I think BB's Cake should be definitely tested for contraband. Did she bring a shank in?
I don't know.
Is there something that's going to be popping out of the cake later? Don can only hope so. 3-man front. Meet our favorite guest in the 1 o'clock hour. He's next.